Welcome, cadets. So glad you're here. Look, as students stepping into the highly demanding world of maritime operations, you've got to understand that out on the water, knowledge isn't just power, it's literal survival. Welcome to this explainer. This is going to be your ultimate orientation to heavy deck machinery. Today, we're taking a really close look at the single deck crane KL30T26M. My absolute goal here is to make sure you walk away with a deep, uncompromising respect for this machine and the exact know-how you need to run it safely. All right, let's dive right in. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off by meeting the deck crane itself. From there, we'll hit the golden rules of operation, decode those crucial deck safety signs, and look at the built-in safety devices. Finally, we'll shift gears into some high-stakes territory, fire emergency protocols, and how to execute an emergency harness exit. Let's get going. Section 1. Meet the deck crane. So, before you can operate a piece of heavy machinery, you really have to understand exactly what you're dealing with. And, well, here it is, the single deck crane KL30T26M. Just look at the sheer scale of this thing. You've got the slewing tower, that massive jib extending way out, the heavy-duty wire ropes, and the cargo block hanging right at the end. You know, as students, it is so easy to look at diagrams in a classroom and just kind of forget the real-world magnitude of what you'll be controlling. You absolutely have to respect this machinery long before you ever step foot in that operator's cabin. It's literally a towering feat of engineering built to handle massive loads, and man, it requires your absolute focus. Let's actually break down what makes up this beast. The slewing tower, that's the vertical part that actually rotates the crane, is nearly 23,000 kilograms on its own. The jib, the extending arm, adds another 11,700 kilos. And get this, even the ropes, the hoisting rope and the luffing rope that changes the jib's angle, they weigh in at nearly a ton combined. When you tally the whole shebang up, you're looking at right around 37,270 kilograms of solid steel suspended right over the deck. I mean, think about that for a second. Over 37 metric tons hanging in the air. That sheer mass commands your respect and your total attention 100% of the time. Section 2, Golden Rules of Operation. Listen up, because these aren't just polite suggestions, they are the non-negotiable laws of the deck. First off, never, ever transport persons on the crane. Seriously, it's not an elevator. Second, the entire sweep area of the crane jib has got to be totally clear of unauthorized personnel. Third, do not pass suspended loads above anyone's head. Just don't do it. Fourth, dragging ropes or hook blocks over edges, that's basically a fast track to structural damage and catastrophic failures, so avoid it completely. Fifth, keep your eyes on the load or the hook at all times. Situational awareness is absolutely your best friend out there. And lastly, every single fault, no matter how small, has to go into the crane record book. You're the vanguard of safety here, so you've got to act like it. Moving on to Section 3, Decoding Deck Safety Signs. All right, out on deck, you'll see a bunch of signs, and you need to read them instantly. Take the prohibition signs, those stark red circles with a slash. These tell you what you absolutely cannot do. No smoking, no unauthorized access, no flipping certain switches. Basically, red means stop, danger, forbidden. Contrast those with the mandatory signs, which are blue. Blue dictates the protective gear you've got to wear and the exact actions you must take. Put on your eye protection, your helmet, your boots. Blue means compliance is required to keep you in one piece. As a cadet, you need to be able to spot and obey these from a mile away without even a second thought. And then you've got the green rescue signs. Look, when things go sideways, and trust me, in maritime environments, you always plan for when, not if, these green signs are your literal lifelines. They point you straight to first aid stations, the ship's doctor, and critically, your fire extinguishers. My advice, memorize the locations of these green signs on your vessel the second you board. Section 4. Built-in safety devices. So your crane actually comes equipped with 4 critical fail-safes to keep things in check. First, you've got the brakes, which stay closed to prevent any accidental movement once the drives stop. Second, lighting. I know, it sounds super simple, but lighting is absolutely a safety device. If it's busted, you replace it immediately. Third are the limit switches. Think of these as safety cutouts that stop gear motion if the crane reaches its physical limits. And fourth, the electrical safety devices, which automatically kill the drives if there's danger. Let me be crystal clear about something here, cadets. You never, ever modify, bridge, or mess with these monitors without direct authorization. No exceptions. And a quick visual glance? Yeah, that doesn't cut it. Checks must consist of an inspection and a function check. You can't just casually look at a limit switch, say, yep, it's there, and assume it works. Actually, scratch that. You must physically verify that these systems are operating correctly on a regular basis. I mean, your life and the lives of your crewmates literally depend on these devices working when you need them most. Okay, take a breath. We've covered the baseline, but I want to ask you a question. What's your protocol when things actually go wrong? You know, when the alarms start blaring, when a routine operation suddenly turns into a high-stakes emergency. That brings us to Section 5, Protocol for Fire Emergencies. If a fire breaks out, you've got a very specific 3-step protocol. Report, move, fight. First, report. Hit that alarm instantly and give exact info on where the fire is. Second, move. Warn anyone in the danger zone, get injured folks out of there if it's safe to do so, and shut those doors and windows to choke off the fire's oxygen. Third, fight. Up in your cabin, you'll have a 5-kilogram ABC powder extinguisher. Grab it and get to the source. But hey, don't just set it off wildly in a panic. Wait until you are right at the source. Report, move, fight. Drill those action verbs into your brain so muscle memory just takes over when the adrenaline hits. I'm going to read this next part directly from the ship's operating manual because, honestly, it's the most important thing you're going to hear today. Quote, "Saving human life is more important than fighting the fire. However valuable they are, objects can be replaced." End quote. That right there is the absolute hierarchy of survival on a vessel. Yes, you fight a fire to protect life and the ship's structural integrity, but you do not throw your life away for a piece of 37-ton machinery. Let's talk tactics for a second. You always fight the fire in the direction of the wind, never against it. For widespread fires, you start at the front edge and work your way back. If it's a dripping or flowing fire, you attack from top to bottom. And this is a big one. If you have multiple extinguishers and a few people, use them all at once, not one after the other. Keep in mind, your powder extinguisher only gives you about 9 seconds of spray. Let me repeat that, 9 seconds. It goes by in a flash. You have to stay calm and use it with strategic forethought. Section 6, Emergency Harness Exit Procedures. All right, I want you to visualize yourself sitting up in that operator's cabin right now. The alarms are screaming, the primary exit is completely blocked, and you are trapped mid-air. Your only way out is the emergency bag hanging right there on the cabin wall. Inside that bag, your safety harness and lever brake. This is your ticket down. Here is exactly how you use it. Step 1, pull the harness out. The back belt and the large opening have to face the front. Step into it with your legs, make sure the chest belt and catch loop are in front of you, and yank that sliding piece down tight to secure it. Step 2, grab the lever brake. Snap one hook onto the lug of your harness and click the other snap hook onto the specific lug bolted right to the cabin roof. Step 3, hinge the floor grating up, pop open the bottom window, grab the free end of the rope, and toss it straight down. The moment you actuate that hand lever, you'll start rappelling down. The device automatically regulates your drop speed, but you can slow down or stop completely just by adjusting your grip on the lever. It's an incredibly brilliant, life-saving piece of gear, but you've got to know these steps completely flawlessly. Wow, okay, we've covered a massive amount of ground today. We respected the sheer weight and anatomy of the KL30T-26M. We laid down the absolute golden rules. We decoded the visual signs, checked our fail-safes, and walked through some serious life-or-death emergency escapes. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. With the rules set, the signs decoded, and your escape planned, are you ready to take command safely? Take these lessons, respect the machinery, and please stay vigilant out there. Thank you so much for joining me on this Explainer, cadets. Keep learning, stay safe, and I will see you on the deck.